High-Rise Mystery, Chapter 45. Norva put her key in our front door. It swung open easily. Someone was in our flat. Again. The hallway was dim. The sun had started to set. I held my breath and reached for Norva's hand. My heart beat visibly through my t-shirt. At least I thought it did. "Stay back," she whispered. "I got you." "Hello?" Norva called out. "Who the flip is here now?" "Me, girls," called a voice from the lounge. Jane again. We sighed, 5% relief. We looked at each other. "What do you want?" Norva called out. "Why do you have to do this creeping in the shadows thing?" she shouted. "Oh, I'm sorry," she said. "I just want to talk." A light flicked on in the distance. We inched down the hallway slowly. Steps, short steps. Jane sat silently on the sofa. Ringo, the traitor, was curled in her lap. She stroked him gently, and she stared ahead. We stood still. I squeezed Norva's hand. "Hello, girls," Jane said quietly. A tear ran down her face. "How did you get in?" Norva asked. "It was unlocked," she replied. Lies. "Was it, Jane?" "I know I locked it, especially with Pat being away." I know you didn't go to Serena's," she said. "I was worried about you." "If you're worried about us, why are you sitting in here in the dark?" I interjected. "It's not helping." "Yeah, we know you have a set of keys," Norva sneered. You do?" said Jane, clearly taken aback. "Of course, how else would you get in? Your gaslighting doesn't work on us," Norva said. "Gaslighting?" "Yeah, it's when you make people think they're going crazy on purpose when they're not." Jane cried. "Oh my word, I'm not trying to make you think that. There's just something I have to tell you. It's really important. And I didn't want to do it. Not this way." More tears, sobs actually. "What is it?" Norva replied. "That you're checking out our dad?" "Jane, we been new." Jane turned round sharply on the sofa. Ringo fell off her lap onto the floor. "You know?" she said loudly, now staring at us. She wiped her eyes vigorously. "You already know? I came to tell you, so you'd understand my behaviour over the last few hours." "Oh yeah, we know all about it," said Norva. "We've seen your emails." "You've read our emails? All of them? Please, no." Her eyes widened and her face went a deep red. She put her head in her hands. "This is not how I wanted it to play out, after all." "So what's the deal?" asked Norva. "How long has this," she waved her hand around Jane, "been going on?" "About a year now," she said, looking at her hands. "A year?" we shouted in unison. We stared at each other. How did we not see this? What kind of detectives were we? Who were we? What was life? I questioned the core of our very existence. We were very discreet, very discreet. We didn't want to upset you. "Have you," Norva shuddered, "been in this house?" she asked. "Been in your house? I'm right here." Norva raised her eyes at her. "Oh no," shouted Jane, getting Norva's point. "I've never stayed here, ever. No, no, no." Norva relaxed a little. "Are you mad with me?" Jane asked pitifully. "I'm pretty disgusted, yeah," said Norva. I nodded, my head in agreement. "It's not great," I said. "I mean, it's so disgusting, so gross. It's too much." Norva went in. "And we don't trust you at all." "I understand," said Jane, reaching for her bag. "But really, right now," Norva said, speaking softly, "this is the least of our worries. We have bigger fish to fry. We all have. That is, as long as you don't try to pull any ridiculous stepmom business on us, okay?" "Yes," I added. "Not now, frankly, ever. Our energy needs to be focused on Pap, not you." Jane nodded and wiped her face. "Okay, girls, that's wonderful. Your generous spirits and overall maturity is exceptional. You're a real credit to your dad." Norva waved her hand. Yeah. She let go of my hand and walked to the sofa, sitting down firmly next to Jane. "Now you've let yourself into our house and told us your truth. we're free to ask you some questions. Deal? Deal.